Property Deconstructed. It's a collective wisdom of property and real estate with Marco Ricallo from Master Advocates. My name is Pat Panetta from Tell Your Story Media. Our special guest, Kate Bakos. Kate is the president of the REBAA, the Real Estate Buyers Agent Association of Australia. Why it's worth investing in a buyer's agent. We've covered off a few points, but what about why it's vital for your buyer's advocate to have a purchase history that you can look into?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a big problem at the moment. Unfortunately, we've had an influx of new agents, and not only do they have insufficient experience, they're going into other states where the training that they have to do, or the accreditation that they have to get to be licensed, is much, much smaller than what they would in Victoria. So here it's a diploma course, and you need to work under someone for a full year.
Right. And
then you can apply for your licence. And unfortunately, if you're moving from another state, you can get mutual recognition and come straight in. Now, there's one state in particular that has a 5-day course. And some of these operators offering the courses are actually not necessarily making sure that everyone's doing all of the modules required for that 5-day course. So we've got some people that aren't even doing any work, paying for a licence, transferring it to Victoria and getting started. And, 2 weeks ago they were doing something else, or a tradesperson, or had a completely different career. The mere idea of practicing on a client with the client's money, it runs a shiver down anyone's spine. But it's a problem for us because consumers aren't asking the right questions, and they're not differentiating us from people that are brand new. And it's fair to say that there'll be a percentage of these brand new entrants that one day might be great buyers agents, but
you don't want them testing out their system on you, do you?
That's exactly right. I mean, the benefit of working under someone that's giving you great guidance and picking up the mistakes before they go live, that's what training is all about. And I know from my point of view, and you'd be the same, Mark, I've trained buyers agents that have worked for me, and I find that the training period, until I can really let them loose and let them talk to the client and make decisions, is more than 2 years.
Oh, big time. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd agree. 2 years minimum, and then you're still, number of transactions that you get to handle and be familiar with in 2 years isn't much in the scheme of things that they're trusting you with, a good amount of money. And property prices aren't decreasing in value. Every dollar counts for them. Yeah. But it's not that initial dollar value. It's more, where's the concern or welfare for their own professional credibility or insurance. There'll be lack of professional indemnity, but also the welfare for the clients, because that saying, you profit when you buy, you're not going to find out about the mistakes made with a bad asset that's been invested in until years down the track, and it's too late.
And Kate, were you sort of guided by anybody? Your training, was it your journey to where you are now?
Absolutely, yeah. I've got my background is a bit of a patchwork quilt, Pat. I started as a chemist and went into property 20 years ago to this year. Yes. And I worked as a sales agent for a while, which was great. You understand the journey that vendors go on, the cycle of listing and marketing and selling a property, dealing with buyers, negotiating auction day, post-sale settlement, all that stuff. And then I was a mortgage broker for 4.5 years. So I really gained an understanding of cash flow, lending policy, all of the steps that lenders take you through. Yeah. And I'm an investor myself, so that was a nice background. But in terms of my training, absolutely, I had to work under someone, and I'd already had I had my agents reps and then got my accreditation through Swinburne for my Cert 4, and I had my 1 year, but I wanted to work under someone as a buyer's agent, and he's still a lifelong mentor and a friend of mine. Yes. Really lovely guy. Helped us establish the setup of the agency, and the rest is history. But to contemplate doing something 2 weeks ago and then bouncing into a career like this without someone.
Yeah, and you've got that all-rounded experience. I love that too, that you've been on the mortgage broking side and the grassroots of it all.
Yeah, so what's surprising is so many of our REBAA members have a really interesting, history in terms of their earlier careers. We've got an intensive care nurse. We've got accountants. One of our members has a PhD, I think, in economics. So some really
property
sharp
valuers
cookies.
too. There's a good range of experience, and that's probably where we have our state conferences and training workshops. There's a good collective enthusiasm and share of knowledge.
Yes.
And that goes on to even, with REBAA members and the importance of accreditation. And, if we expand on, I guess, the importance of having a certain level of experience and accreditation in the industry. If there's anything else you wanted to share there, Kate.
No, I just think the cross-section of skills and backgrounds, it's quite incredible. But what we've all got in common is we're very, very passionate and very protective of our clients, and we're all independent. And that independence word, I can't speak about that highly enough. If you're working exclusively for a buyer, you are serving them.
You want to know the person is batting for you and not sort of, having other incentives pulling them away from the task at hand.
We should be able to demonstrate to the client all of those typical questions that a savvy buyer will ask. So I often have someone who's downloaded our checklist off the website and they say, can I ask you about your insurance? And I think I know those questions. I wrote some of them.
Yeah, good point. Our checklist is on everything Kate's covered today in detail about what REBAA represents and what you can expect. The website does have checklists that you can download. The social media pages for REBAA on Facebook and LinkedIn have some other posts about the checklist, which is good.
Good resource for our...
Great resource. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, Pat.
REBAA.com.au is the website. So nice and easy. REBAA.com.au is the website for that. Being the president of REBAA, the evolution of that organisation, is it going anywhere that we can talk about?
I've had a great time as president. This is my 4th year, and that's a long stint. And I've had some wonderful past presidents that I've been able to lean on for support. It's a voluntary gig, and it does take up a bit of time, but it's certainly helped me grow as well. I've learnt a lot and gained a lot. And REBAA's now been going for almost 23 years. It was started initially by a small collective of guys who reached out to each other, and I wouldn't use the words quickly grown, but it's grown beautifully, very organically, because we all reach out to good operators and people that we regard highly and bring them into the fold. And so that natural growth rate, when you've got people sponsoring you to come on board, it means that you've got a lot of like-minded professionals. Yes. And REBAA's always got to focus on various things that are really important, usually multiple focuses. And I've absolutely enjoyed some of the things that we've been challenged by and overcome or been able to add to our, add under the belt to give our members a lot more value. And some of the things that we're working on at the moment are actually including training for new members and for existing members.
Great.
And,
exciting. Yeah.
And reaching out to some of our industry partners and collaborating. Mark and I have certainly been involved in some really exciting things with our local REIs as well.
Right. So you'll be offering training and just expanding what you do.
It's a work in progress, but that's absolutely the goal.
Right.
Yeah, setting higher standards, for competency too. So it's been really exciting, been great.
Yes.
And Kate's been a great leader at REBAA too. So
yep.
Yeah, it was really good having you here and sharing with us today as well.
Well, thanks for coming in. Have we covered all our bits, do you think, Mark?
I believe so. It's been great amount of detail. Thanks so much for sharing, Kate.
Yeah. Now, we can also find, we can find you we can Google your name as well, Kate. Yeah, yes. You're there. I know you're there.
I'm on the REBAA website too.
And Mark, thanks again for coming in and having our special guest, Kate Bakos, in the studio today. Thank you, mate.